Hello everyone, so I have my third Mezco Spider-Man here. This is the Far From Home Stealth Suit Edition, or as I like to call the Night Monkey. Alright, so this packaging is so huge that my camera is too close to it. This giant tin box. As usual, I'm going to complain. I had to buy this tin box. I don't want this tin box. I had to pay for it. It's just so ridiculous that this figure is only around this big, and this box is like 10 times bigger than the figure. Okay, so it's hinged. There's a piece of thing that's trash. Range of poses, high-end collectibles, care when handling, not toys. Articulated, blah blah blah, cloth outfit. Alright. That's pretty standard stuff. I've never seen that before. Oh boy, see, look at this. This is all just air. I just purchased shipping air across the country or wherever. Okay, I'm gonna throw all this away. I might keep the tin and just use it for storage of other things, but I'm not gonna keep this blister. Hold on, I gotta get this out of here. Alright, in that tin you had this vacuum form for the figure and the accessories, and then the stand and a bag of stuff. Alright, so I'm gonna remove these all here. Alright, this is actually a brand new item, it seems. I got this off eBay. These came out a while ago. You know, probably when the movie was out. I don't know. Mezco has a long lead time from what I understand. If you want to learn about, you know, these 6-inch action figures or 1/12 scale action figures more, in my subscriptions I got 2 channels, The Amazing and The Foosh, and they talk about these stuff professionally, far more professionally than I do. I'm just an amateur. This baggie is for all to put all this stuff in later. The stand, typical Mezco stand, and you have a foot peg here, and then you have this adjustable stand that you can actually tighten with a Phillips screwdriver or loosen. Alright, and then there's a magnetic hook. This goes around the waist of the character. If you want to put them on a refrigerator or something metal, you can. Okay, so this is a common web thing with the Spider-Mans here. It actually goes into the web shooting hands. You see that groove? So this actually resides in that groove, so it's a relatively seamless fit. You know, you don't see much a big white ring that some of the older like Mafex figures would have. Seems to be a face covering web thing. So here's supposed to be Tom Holland. Doesn't really, not the best likeness. And then this thing is really rubbery, so I just gotta pop that around. Ooh, I can't breathe, that kind of thing. Alright. Excuse me. This one is molded plastic, but it looks really squiggly. You know, it's not a straight shot, so that's a little different from the other Spider-Mans I think I got. And so we'll pop that in this one. So you got the 2 web slinging hands. Then you got this tied off cable thing that's supposed to look like webs. But honestly, this is a pretty weak effort. This is not nearly as good as the other 2 figures. The other 2 figures, the web looks a lot better. In fact, let me go get those. Yeah, you see, so here are the other webs that came with those 2 other Mezcos. You see how they twisted it so randomly? It makes it look more like a random spider web. But this is just like braided very evenly, you know, from front one side to the other. Its lack of randomness makes it look a little bit worse, I think. It just doesn't look as good. I suppose maybe if you twisted it in certain spots, maybe that would help it out. Yeah, maybe. Maybe twist one way in one spot. Actually, that might be the solution. Now it looks a little more random, I think. If you just twist it in random areas. Yeah, alright. Alright, so that's an easy fix, actually. Never mind. I guess they just save time, you know, labor cost by letting you choose. Or maybe people complained and they're like, let us tie this thing the way we want. Okay, at least it still has the ends on it, you know, to cover up the exposed wiring. Alright, anyways, That's going to go into one of these web holding hands, like this guy here. It's a little bit hollow in the middle, so we can get his fingers around that thing. There seems to be one for each side, which didn't happen with the other two Spider-Mans, so that's good. And then we have these two grabby hands. Landing hands, grabby hands. Alright, there's a little web actuator molded in there. There's no grooves on these though, because they're not shooting webs. You know what's weird though? This grabby hand is a lot more matte. This one is a lot more glossy. Right? That's kind of weird that it's like they were painted on different days, or one day like they just ran out of matte paint and they're like, all right, we got some gloss paint in the factory, just go with that. So that's kind of strange. These two hands are matte. These two hands are matte. So, and then the two fists on the figure itself are matte. So it's just that one hand is glossy. I find a bit odd. All right. So let's see if this looks like. Yeah, sorry, I almost turned off the phone. Let's see if this looks like the character here. There's I don't know, in between shots or something, maybe the director's telling him something. Fortunately, there's a lot of glare on this horrible glossy monitor. But I'm not going to buy a monitor just for the next 2 months. Let me move the light a little bit, maybe that'll help. No, that didn't help at all. So you can just see it's horrible. I apologize for that. You'll notice here, there's like a ring, circle there, but it's not on this figure. So that's a bit off. The shoulder pad also isn't the same, right? Yeah, so this outfit actually, maybe they made this outfit before they got images from the movie. Sometimes that happens. You know, some directors don't care about merchandising. They just want to keep the movie a secret, and they don't share any of the production studio images or film with the toy manufacturers. So that's what I'm going to guess is what happened here, because this outfit is simply not, the same. Well, you know what? Hold on. Let me take this back a little bit. That circle is here. It's up here. It's just that it's a whole circle. It's not a ring. On the outfit, it's a ring, so I was thrown off. But yeah, that shoulder pad, clearly, this thing here is not what's on this character. Alright. Hold on. I'll get these darn webs out of the way. Okay. Let's move all these hands out. And actually, let's bring this back. Alright. Let's just see what kind of articulation we can get. First, his helmet, or this whole head and the neck are plastic. They're not fabric. So you can kind of see that the color is a bit, it matches the hand color because those are plastic as well. But this is actually a fabric with like rubber on it, so it's a different texture and color. Alright, so frontal head movement. Alright, he can actually look down pretty far, so that's good. The neck barely moves forward or back. The neck barely moves. But the head does a good job. That's decent, I think. Alright, so that's pretty good, actually. What's going on here? Oh, that's nice. This actually comes up, so that's cool. You can see Mr. Holland's eyes in there. Nice. There's actually like an air gap, it looks like. There's a lot of depth to that eye recess. It's not like flush with the rest of the black, so I think that's really well done. And yet it's still one molded piece of plastic, so very cool. Alright. Night Monkey. Yeah, so this is a textured, like rubberized surface on top of this black, I'm going to assume like a nylon or nylon fabric here. Alright. Going around, yeah. A lot of details here molded on with that black rubbery stuff. And then this black belt here. Seems like it might be glued in right here. But in the front, it's kind of floating. So you can maybe get some ab crunch maybe. Nope, not much. Mezco isn't known for... Oh, that little thing came off, but it can come back on. It's just a little friction fit thing. So I'll leave it off. Well, the back articulation. It's no Spider-Man pose. If I put everything like that, that's not so great for a Spider-Man. What's sad is the front. Oh, there we go. Never mind. It was just a tight joint because it's a new figure. I guess that's not too bad. And that's leaning over. Lean to the other side. Okay. So not bad. Alright, that's the whole arm I'm sure will spin around, but I don't want to tear the suit. So let's just see. Is there a butterfly in there? I don't know if there's a butterfly. I don't think... Well... It's hard to say. I think there is. I'm just moving it a little bit. So, alright. Then the upper bicep here does swivel. You can see it twisting there. The arm will bend over 90 degrees, so that's pretty good. And then does the elbows turn? It does not turn. Okay, the wrist is on a ball peg, so that'll turn any direction you want. And then this cuff is just in place. Well, you probably don't want to force it because it's probably attached to the fabric. Okay, this leg here, let's see. Well, 90 degrees. Going back a little bit, runs into its butt. That makes sense. That's common on these figures. And then the knee, well, see, you can see that fabric stretching. It's a double jointed knee, so it actually goes pretty far back. So that's good. And then, trying to figure out what kind of mechanism is in here. Might be it's a double-ended ball, maybe. That's what I'm thinking. It's like a dumbbell ball joint. Okay, the foot peg recessed. Nice tread here on these boots. So anyways, you can get a little rocker here, front, back. Decent enough foot movement, it seems. Can't see any of the joint. So you got a nice little white paint here, a different color. This is like a glossier black in between the white, it looks like, than the rest of the boot, which is like a matte. So it's like a two-tone boot with the white stripes, so that's kind of neat. This has got a nice texture on it, and then the white striping, and then this is all plastic down here, but then it becomes the fabric with the rubberized texture on it. So there's a lot of details going on in this suit, even if maybe the shoulder pads are off. Look at the knee. Yep. See the suit twisted a little bit. The knee pad seems a bit off. Yeah, that's weird. You know, you can clearly see his shins are facing us, right? But look at the knee pads. They're off to the side on both sides. I don't know if it can twist because I'm not sure if it's glued or not down in the boot. So be mindful of that. Okay, well, I'm not gonna bother with it much more. Okay, so I guess it looks pretty cool. Now the question is, can I get one of these poses? So let me come back. Sadly, I can't get him down to the ground so much because the foot articulation won't let his feet go far enough forward. And also the abdomen crunch isn't deep enough, so he can't get his hands remotely close to the ground. It's just not going to happen. So, yeah, that's the Mezco thing. You're not going to get great articulation when you have fabric suits, or they just don't have a very good body design. I'm not sure what it is. But for me, I just buy these because they look cool, because they have fabric suits. If you want good articulation, go with an all-plastic model like a Mafex or a Figure Arts or something like that. So I just want the thing to look nice. Okay, so let's see about Tom Holland's head here. Big ball peg dumbbell up here. Yep. Yeah, alright, so I guess that's okay. You know, you can actually look quite high up and down too. Pretty good articulation for this one, clearance, although there's no major gap. So I think that's pretty good. Although I'm never going to display him with this head on. I mean, Night Monkey has to look like this, right? Maybe with those up, possibly. Let me try to find a normal pose with some webbing. Alright, so I think this is pretty cool. Alright, he's got a little thwip action going on, masking his head off. He's actually hurting himself, oddly. Alright, so yeah, I guess those webs are fine. You know, I like that you don't see much of this white ring around the wrist area because of that groove in the hand. So I think that's a really smart choice on Mezco's part. Alright, let me do a finishing pose. Well, you can see, actually, his back articulation is actually pretty decent, I think. It just doesn't tend to stay there, but his back is arched, and yeah. Alright, I guess you can get a decent enough action pose out of this Mezco guy. I'm quite happy with it. I'm not going to leave it like this, though. It's just too weird, this pose. Okay, I'm not very good at posing. The Amazing is good at posing. Anyways, this is a nice figure. I'm very happy I got it. I got it off eBay, and they're not overly expensive. This one I actually bought, I think, for less than what its MSRP was. So I guess no one wants these figures. But I like the Spider-Man, and I like these cost-suited action figures, so that's good for me. Alright, well, thanks again, and hopefully I'll see you in the next action figure review. Bye.